You'd have to be living under a rock to not know the name Stevie Marlowe. Her horror flick Death Throes was all anyone could talk about last year. Here's a taste.
Do you remember this place being so dark and dusty? We've just got to find somewhere to hide.
Oh, come on, Miranda. You like games, don't you?
Time to finish this.
Run! If you want me, come and get me!
That movie gave me nightmares. Now, we are going live to the gorgeous town of Summer Bay, where Stevie will be filming her new movie, All Our Tomorrows, with celebrity director Nelson Giles. I obviously drew the short straw this morning because Shervo is right there on the beach. Nice for some, hey Shervo?
Well, it's a tough gig, Nat, but someone's got to do it. Oh, here they are now.
We are Si and Sophie. This is Coastal News, a home and away podcast, your weekly episode companion podcast for your favourite Aussie soap.
Our very own Stage 5 Klinger is back.
Show me. I've been very clingy recently, though. I've been
No, quite.
running away.
That's
Sorry.
quite the opposite. Yeah, how dare you.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
These guys don't know the magic of podcast. These guys don't know.
I can't actually remember the last time I spoke to you. It was weeks ago, wasn't it?
It was properly, yeah. It was. How was the Baroness?
It's been really weird.
Peaceful.
It's been really strange. I've been totally out of my routine, and I feel like I've abandoned you. I feel like a terrible friend. But yeah, it's just been.
Give over. You've been
chaotic.
having a really good time off.
It's been absolutely chaotic. I'm exhausted.
On tour, how was it?
Amazing. I am broken from head to toe, and I've just got a voice back. So good job in time for a podcast.
I know. You texted me the other day saying you lost your voice and whatever. I was like, I just sent you a gift, didn't I, that told you everything you needed to know.
I was like, oh no. Yeah.
I thought we were going to have to do a Stephen Hawking special.
Just get
this
AI.
week.
Just get an AI bot in to do a crap rummy accent. It's fine. Oh dear. No, it's good. Yesterday I was like sex pest caller voice, and today I'm slightly better than that.
Well, you sound great to me, and it's amazing to have you back.
Oh,
back in action.
You. I did miss you.
Missed you more. But I'm glad you had a great time, and you were let off the Coastal News reins for a bit. You could have a break.
I know. I did listen to the podcast though, and I did listen to JK last week, and he absolutely smashed it. So it was great. I really enjoyed that. I listened to it on the train home on whatever day I came home. I can't remember. Monday? I don't know. But yeah, brilliant. And it sounded like you had a good chat. And he gave loads of his say on the bay, which is brilliant. I think he's done a lot of homework there. I think we might have converted him. Sorry.
I think so. He showed me up though, didn't he? It was like really sort of diving in. I thought, blimey. I thought he's watched as well. You can imagine I'd watched it 3 weeks ago. So I was like, I better rewatch this.
Oh no.
So yeah. I rewatched it all because obviously I was doing the old tweets, wasn't I? So but I hate watching it how we had to, because I was rewatching it and I missed loads. You know, when you're tearing through it and then getting it done. It was quite nice this week just to take it at a leisurely pace. How have you done? How have you watched this week? Have you done sort of a bit of catching up and a bit of on time?
I hadn't watched it for ages, I'll be honest. So then this week I was like, what happened last time I watched it? I completely forgot. Thank God the recaps at the reminded me, what was going on. So I watched Monday late, Tuesday I watched it late, Wednesday, did I watch it Wednesday at all? No, I didn't, and I didn't watch it Thursday either. So
you've had a bit of a...
I've watched 2 today, and then I watched 1 this afternoon. The half past six one. So yeah, I'm all over the shop. But I think, like you, I probably haven't taken as much of it in because I've been going, I've got to watch it all by Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, hopefully you get back into the swing before long.
Yeah.
And yeah, back to your stage fast. Just one of those lines of the week that tickled me.
It did make me laugh. It did make me... The script again has been really good this week, because the funny lines and the stitching together of the storylines that we've been saying is it's not been a huge amount of stuff going on this week, but the script has been really good and I've enjoyed watching it. So
I think the writing's been great, but I do agree we've gone nowhere, and I feel a bit like that for weeks. I feel a bit like we're no further on than maybe when you and I last spoke. Think about it. Nothing's different in the last sort of 3, maybe 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, apart from the arrival of the film crew, which I've quite enjoyed watching. But
that is good. But
and the
we
sunrise
knew that
thing,
film was
I enjoyed. Yeah.
But the whole film thing, we knew that was happening.
Yes.
Weeks back, and I'm just like, and we still know. I don't know. No, everything seems to sort of ground to a halt for me.
Yeah. I've been quite grateful, I'll be honest, because trying to get back into it this week, if it had been, loads of stuff going on, I think I'd have struggled. So I'm quite grateful for a quiet week, personally.
Fair enough.
But next week I might be complaining about it. I might be going, it's too slow, and I want more action.
Well, we're going to put our hands together, and just next week's going to pick it up. It's going to pick up.
Yeah.
It's going to pick up. So when you read some of the stuff that's coming, we know, and we've said that how many times do we get here and we go, it's the lull, it's the calm before the storm. This happens all the time. And actually, I'm not watching this thinking boring, get on with it, because they are writing it well. Everything's, all the good stuff that we've been commending the writing on. So
yeah,
we've not got loads to complain about.
No.
Just the pace. Just pick it up a bit. Right, do you want your headlines? Oh, not said that in a while.
I know. It's nice to hear. Go on then. Give me the headlines.
Actually. I've forgotten something. Sorry, I've forgotten something, because it's a very special day on Monday for us. Coastal News. I've just looked down at my phone to read the headlines and see.
I thought you were going to tell me it was Ray Ma's 80th this week, because we forgot to mention that as well.
No, mention away if you want.
Happy birthday, Ray!
Happy.
I'm so excited. Oh,
happy birthday when you're quitting.
I did have a little bit of cake in your honour, so thank you for that as well. Calories are coming to you, not to me. That's how it works.
That's it. You can afford it.
It's also been pod friend Marty's birthday this week as well. Just saying.
It has.
Happy birthday, Marty.
Happy birthday. Yes, happy birthday, Ray, Marty, and anybody else who wants a birthday.
Sorry, you go. It'd be me soon. I know, I don't want to think about it.
Well, you're talking about birthdays. It's Coastal News. It's very birthday on Monday.
Yay!
3. Getting old now.
Oof.
And we're already careering through season 4 of the podcast already. I don't know where time is going. But yeah, level 3 complete. Monday, the 1st of July. We have things planned, as always. Keep your eye on the social media for announcements. That is all I will say. Coastal News pod on Monday. Because we've got stuff going on. Clear your diaries, people. You're going to need to. Right, now do you want your headlines?
Yes.
Now we wished everybody happy birthday, including ourselves. Word is getting around about Mac and Levi. Sunrise come to town to do press for the film, but John gets last-minute stage fright. Marshall gets Tane out of the slammer, but he appears less than grateful. And after all that, Bree goes for a ride. And also gets on a bike.
We're starting early. I like it.
And finally, Dana and Harper are subpoenaed.
Sorry.
Please take the time to like, subscribe, and review Coastal News. wherever you source your podcasts, and ensure you never miss an episode.
Mac and Levi, they're back out in public, and she's going to give work another crack. She's bracing herself for the Flick tornado as she goes to work. And word is getting around, they're publicly embracing, and word's getting about town now about their relations. Quality gossip, Leah calls it, as Justin comes over and tells her all about it.
This is an interesting scene.
That's why I put it right at the top of the episode. Until she finds out he's married, she doesn't seem to like that.
No.
Now, I'm going to pick up my glass of wine and I'm going to hand it over to you, and I'm going to be like...
I'm not saying anything that's going to get me into legal difficulties.
But you must have been thinking what I was thinking watching these scenes, surely.
Well, yes. I mean, it might be a little close to home for a couple of people on the show, if we're to believe the alleged storylines that are going on in the tabloids.
No names.
No.
Yeah. I just thought it was quite funny, and then I'm like reading between the lines through the cast and everything. I'm like looking for a raised eyebrow, like I was proper going for it.
I was thinking, when was this filmed? Was this Christmas? Was this after Christmas? Anyway.
Oh yeah, the big Christmas dumping. Yeah, yeah. I do but wonder. Levi tells Mac that her and Flick need to find a way to get along, so they do give it a go, don't they? Despite Leah and everybody else gossiping about it elsewhere in the Bay. Flick's not ready to talk. She's still. I mean, this feels like Flick has done this non-stop for about a month. And maybe it's the way we've recorded. I don't know, but like Flick is like, go away, slow clap, you pigs, like, and that's it. Like, that's all she seems to have to say about the matter. I mean, Levi's now got his friends cancelling boys' trips away. And Mac's all, woe is me, we didn't kill anyone, we just fell in love. And I'm like, are we supposed to feel sorry for her now? What am I supposed to feel here? Like, surely not.
I don't think they're very self-aware, are they? That whole, we didn't kill anybody. No, but you ripped someone's life up. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not very nice what you've done. I don't know.
Don't downplay it. Don't try and you sort of, what's the word? Not minimizing it. What's the word?
No, I think it is minimizing the impact that you're having on poor Imogen, who hasn't seen this coming, and it's come out of nowhere. And as far as she's concerned, they were married, they were thinking about having kids in the long run. She was thinking, oh, he doesn't want kids, that's fine. We can compromise, we can talk about it. I just want him. She was trying to put him first, and then all of this sudden this has come out of the blue. And I think that the kind of poison cherry on the cake is the fact that she met Mac, and Mac was like, oh, come and have a free coffee with me. And I don't think that's what I'm finding difficult with Mac, is that she's doing the poor me routine, and we fell in love. Yeah, but you've been really spiteful actually by introducing yourself to Imogen. And putting yourself on her radar, knowing that you're about to tear her life up. You know what I mean? I just think that's, how can you not feel guilty about that? You can't help who you fall for. I get that. You can't help who you fall in love with, but you didn't feel no guilt. It's almost psychopathic. You know what I mean? It's weird.
You're right, and I think it goes back to that detachment from Imogen. Like, it's not a real person, it's just a name we all talk about. She's only seen her the once. She's not, I don't know why she's not come tearing up to the Bay yet looking for answers, because I think personally we probably could have done with that this week, a couple of weeks after Dusty's settling. They're walking around like love's young dream. Like, we could do with her coming to the Bay and having it out with Mac. I really think we need a scene like that. As long as Imogen is away somewhere out of their little bubble, she is detached and cold about what she's done to that poor girl, isn't she?
I mean, that might still come because you might have had 2 weeks, in bed, depressed, not being able to get up, not, ringing in sick to work. And then, when she
Sally
starts
B
to...
for breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. And then you start to pick yourself up, don't you? And then you get angry. And then you're like, no, I'm not going to waste my life. I'm going to make the most of this. I'm going to get up and I'm going to dust myself off. And we don't know yet, do we? She could rock up at any time.
Yeah, it is true. We want to see it now, don't we?
We do. We like the drama, don't we? So yeah.
Marley actually suggests to Levi, you need to get out of town actually for a bit. Maybe give it all a bit of space. I can't believe you're actually going holding hands and whatnot around town. What you doing, man? What you doing? And after a bit of a run-in with Flick, Levi comes round to the idea, suggests it to Mac, and he does the whole, really ask yourself, was it all worth it? And you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
Bit
late now. Late. It's a bit late.
I'm getting really, I know. And then it just upsets Mac. And then I'm like, getting my tiny violin out. And then I am getting really, really fed up with this place we've ended up with them, where it's like, oh, woe is me, we've got it so bad. And then it's like we're on cloud nine, we don't care, and then something happens, or there's a consequence what arises of what they've done, and then it's like, oh, I feel sorry for myself again. Do you know what I mean? And it's like this merry-go-round of this type of behaviour. I'm getting fed up with it.
It's actually a meme, that, isn't it? I've seen it where it goes, oh, look, the consequences of my own actions. You know what I mean? You've done it to yourself, and now you feel sorry for yourself. Like, don't make us feel sorry for you, because there isn't any sympathy over here.
Yeah, stay over there, love. In fact, turns out John's the most sympathetic. That blindsided me.
This was interesting, wasn't it? Because we know Mac and John have got a close relationship. We've seen them, they're a great pairing to watch on screen, aren't they? And we've seen him being kind of a bit scared of her because, she has got a bit that hot temper, and he does kind of sort of scurry up to her when he's done something wrong. Like that whole scene where he broke that bottle of whiskey that was really expensive during his cocktail making night, and he was all skirting around it. That was a really funny episode when she was like confronting him. So we know they've got a good relationship, but I'm surprised he didn't have a sort of friendly kind of, what are you doing? I don't know. He just went, oh, well, these things happen and you're not terrible. I was like, well, you can be a friend and still say you did a shit thing.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that makes you more of a friend, because if you've got that relationship where you can say, you're my friend and I love you, but I think what you did was a bit shitty, actually.
Yeah. God, shaky ground he's on, isn't it?
Yeah.
With that stance, I think.
I wonder whether he's just thought, you know what, this girl's got everybody else against her. She just needs one person in her corner. I don't know.
More of a sympathy thing rather than like proper support, two-dimensional support. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think
I'll tell her off later. And right now, she doesn't need me to be mean to her right now. She just needs somebody to be in her corner, and I'll be in her corner, and maybe I'll bite my tongue. I don't know. I can't see. I don't know. I didn't expect this from John, I'll be honest. I thought he would do the whole, you're a good friend, and I'm going to tell you this, in love.
You did a bad.
You did a bad thing, and I don't know.
It was. I think you've hit the nail on the head. He's told her, she's heard it enough. I'll just tell her what she needs to hear in this moment. I think you've hit the nail on the head. I really do. I mean, whatever it does, it gets through to her, because then she decides that Levi is worth it, and off we go again. So, she seems to listen to him. So he probably has the key to her unlocking the stalemate that she's got with the other people in her life. So maybe we'll get more scenes where, she soundboards off him and he gives her advice that might be worth listening to. And who'd have thought you'd say that about John?
I know. I'd like to see that. I would like to see that, though.
Yeah, same. Now, downstairs, the surf club is heaving still, full of that film crew. Could not get a parking space for love nor money. And there's this publicity about the film. They're about to start shooting the film any minute now. And turns out Australia's biggest and best breakfast show, Sunrise, the only breakfast show you're ever going to want to watch, on Channel 7.
Yeah.
That just butter some people up. Is coming to Summer Bay to talk about this new movie. How exciting is this? And John is all up involved in that as well, actually. He's scouting locations and all the rest of it. We heard him agree to the beach being used for the actual filming location, didn't we, last week? Movie credit and 50 grand and all that. And he later learns, John, that actually, you know, not only has he been scouting a place for Sunrise and the film crew to, you know, go do this live link they're going to do live on national TV, but he's actually going to be on it himself, and he is beside himself, isn't he? His television debut.
Oh, debut.
John's television debut. And he's telling every man who will listen, won't he? Even the extras.
Yeah.
Can I have a pizza?
Oh,
made for John, this story. Made for him. But the next day arrives and he's all set, ready to go. Sunrise are in town. We're seeing all the paraphernalia for live TV, aren't we? A crowd gathering. Everybody's there but John's AWOL. And it turns out he's in the office in the surf club panicking with stage fright, can't go on. Al comes in, he's like, "Flaming hell, Palmer." Like, you know, you've been telling everyone about this. And he's like, "What if I stuff it up in front of Shervo of all people?" So next thing, Alf's there. Oh, because all John had to do was drive the Polaris about 50 meters up to shot. That's all he had to do. But the nerves get the better of him. You know, this is how you make John really human. You know, so Alf had to step up, and then there was a hilarious scene in the Polaris with Alf and Stevie.
I love this.
You don't talk much, and then they soon find out that they're both into fishing.
So out this conversation. I loved it. I thought this was hilarious. I was like, of course.
All while waiting for someone to call action.
It's so good. You could imagine my little face watching that, I'm sure. But I love this because I love Stevie, obviously. I think she's great. Yeah. And then having these two together and seeing that kind of casually chatting to a movie star about fish. I just think that's just so Alf. It's just so funny.
Yeah. But you could imagine, can't you, like sitting, you've got to drive this movie star and you think, I've got absolutely nothing in common with this world. So you
I'm an 80-year-old man.
79 at the time of filming, I'll have you know.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got absolutely nothing in common, and then he just says he'd rather be fishing, and then she's like, "Oh yeah." So then that completely shifts the dynamic, doesn't it, of the conversation? It was fantastic.
It's so funny. And then she's like, "Oh yeah, my new fishing buddy," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a bit of a fan." I was like, "Oh, this is so cute." Oh,
and then Alf ends up on telly with Shervo.
I know.
This was the best episode. It was so good.
It was
so good.
Because I follow the Sunrise Instagram page, and they do have the cast on, and they interview them and stuff. So although I don't have this obviously on our TV here because it's Australian morning show, isn't it? I do know quite a lot about Sunrise. I do watch a lot of the clips on Instagram, and I do know who Shervo is. So when they said Shervo, I was like, I know who that is. And even I got really excited. And then I absolutely loved it when they went back to the studio and she said something like, "Oh, I hope the man in the straw hat gets a cameo or something. He's a legend." I was like, he is a legend. It was just so funny. It was so meta. It's so funny.
Yeah, it was very tonguish. It was a bizarre experience watching it, wasn't it? I love how they did that. It was like, and it was so long, the segment. It was almost like we went to an episode of Sunrise.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was like watching one of the Insta reels that they put on.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, with the the news ticker and the weather in the corner. It was so good, so good.
Yeah.
I mean, other than, I mean, we got a very brief, Dana gleeing at the TV. Just to remind us that we weren't watching Sunrise. It was actually Home and Away. Also, did we get a full-length trailer of Death Throes there, which looked very exciting?
I really want to watch this, and I know Marty's been responsible for some of this. I think for all of the trailer actually that we've seen so far. I want him to make the full movie now. I want to see the whole thing. It looks so good. This is the kind of film I'd watch.
We need to start a fun GoFundMe. Let's get the money raised. Get this filmed.
Honestly, it's like it looked like the trailer that we used to get for the 9 p.m. horror channel film when we used to have the horror channel. It's gone now, but I think it's called Legend now. But it's my favourite slot of the day. That 9 o'clock horror film. Loved it. I want to see the whole thing. Send it me. Like inbox me. Send me the whole film.
Yeah.
Make it obviously first. Yeah.
Well, we'll work out some sort of crowdfunding for it. Let's get it off the ground. Come on.
Yeah, we need it.
Come on, we can do it. That's something else I'll delegate to you.
Oh, charming. I'll just open the list.
You have a week off.
I'll come back and I've got all this admin to do. It's like my real job. Oh dear.
So the interview goes ahead, and then later in the week we get to the point where this rom-com's about to, All of Tomorrow's or something it's called, isn't it? Is about to start shooting, and there's been a bit of melodrama in Camp Stevie the day before, because Brie, you'll remember, has been sort of hanging about with Nelson Bun, and she's sort of thrown herself into that. I don't think because she's into it. I think she's just trying to get back. It's a really Neanderthal thing that's going on, in my opinion, there, like mentally. Because obviously Remy's parading around with this movie star right in front of her. I mean, I'm not going to judge the girl. I don't really blame you. Even Neanderthal sounds negative, but you're going to act out, aren't you? Do you know what I mean?
It's just a fling, isn't it? I mean, it's just it's probably the wrong phrase to use, but it's a bit tit for tat, isn't it? Like it's a bit
like he's doing it so much, and then it gets. But I mean, and it's that because of the bloody bike.
Yes.
Nelson Bun has a bike. Gets on it now. Debate of the week here, because it turns out Nelson's staying with Stevie in this gorgeous house, and they quickly sleep together, which again I don't think that's a Brie thing either.
No.
I think she's probably got Kirby's voice in her ear from the other week, actually, saying just go for it and have fun. I think even JK was saying last week, he quite liked Kirby sort of saying to her, just let loose a bit, woman. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think there's a bit of that going on as well, and she's just sort of, it's not her, is it? And they're in bed, and who comes home but Stevie and Remy, and then Nelson's like, chill, whatever, like, get over it, he has. And she's trying to sneak out the next morning, and he catches her. Not only that, sees her on the bike, so he has the very strong reaction despite her. And you're just thinking, oh my God, bang their heads together.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Debate of the week. Did they break up?
Yeah. Exactly.
Did they break up because of the bike, or did they break up?
Yeah, because she did give the ultimatum. I mean, nobody's looking good here, are they? Both of them are looking bad here. But I do remember her saying to him, "It's me or the bike. Like you choose me or the bike." That was the ultimatum. He then, for what she's saying, he lied, which he did. He lied, and he said, "I've got rid of the bike," which was a lie. That was lie number one. He said, I got rid of the bike, and he gave it to Justin, but he told her that he'd arranged to send it back to Mercedes or whatever, hadn't he? Which was a lie. Yeah. And then she caught him on the bike, didn't she? And then he told her another lie. at that point and said, "Oh no, I'm not gonna go out on it. I'm gonna do my my physio, and I might think about it later." And so there was a couple of lies there, and she's saying to him, like, it's because you lied. It's because you said you weren't going to go back on the bike. You chose me. You said you'd given it away, but you hadn't given it away. You just stashed it in Justin's garage, and you told everyone to lie to me about it, and then you went out on it anyway, and that's why I'm cross. And I was like, ugh.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know. But then I get that. I would have sympathy. I'd be on Bree's team if it was as simple as that. And she didn't get. If she'd said to Nelson Manburn, "I'm not getting on that bike. They're dangerous. You'll come off it. I don't want to see you in A&E. I don't want to go to A&E either. I'm a doctor." All the things that she said to Remy about how many people die a year in motorbike accidents. If she said all that to Manburn, I'd have been on her side and have gone, yeah. So she's sticking to her principles. But she didn't. She went, "Oh, of course you've got a bike." And he went, "Is that a problem?" She went, "No," and got on it. And I was like, okay, now you've lost me, because
yeah.
What was that about? I don't get it. Is it just to get back at him?
Is it spite? Yeah. Is it just to spite him? Because
presumably
he didn't choose her.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Because presumably she still thinks they're dangerous. She still, like if she got back with Remy, would she still be like, meal the bike?
I don't know. The whole thing just boring as absolute dishwasher. The way I look at it, maybe I'm a bit black and white. There'd be no ultimatum. There'd be no nothing if she didn't have an issue with the bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lied and all that stuff. But if she let him ride the bike, as long as he's safe and only do it in daylight, whatever compromise he tried to say, then they wouldn't be here, would they? Is how I look at it. And maybe that's a bit black and white. But it looks like she spit a dummy out. She's thought, do you know what? I'm going to shag him because he's shagging her. And then, oh no, he's got a bike. But you know what? I'm going to take the risk just to piss him off.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it was that. And that's why Remy's annoyed, because he's gone, hang on a minute. You told me, the whole reason we split up is because you told me to get rid of the bike, and I didn't want to get rid of the bike, and you didn't want to compromise. And yet here you are on the back of another bike. I don't get it. And I kind of see where it's coming from.
I
don't fully support Remy, because he did lie about it. He did say he got rid of it and he hadn't. So he is a shit for doing that.
If I said to you, you've got to get off that fence, where are you coming down?
Oh God. I don't want to get the backlash of Facebook, but I'm probably leaning towards Remy, because I'm confused at the moment, and unless she can explain it to me better than what she has.
I think she's been an absolute
she's being
cow.
Spiteful. Yeah,
she's being a cow. Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't look, it's not a good look on her, No, it's not a good look. And then what then happens is Remy has this whole, I'm not your boyfriend, stop controlling me, Stevie. And then that sends Stevie into a tiz, who clearly has deeper feelings than a fling, because this means that she ends up in a bottles deep booze the next morning, instead of turning up for the first day of the shoot of this movie. So Stevie's obviously got a bit more investment than initially thought,
But also she's an actress with an ego, and I think this was quite a dent to her ego, that this, not being funny, but second-rate musician has dumped her.
Do you know what? That's an angle I'd not even crossed my mind, Sophie. This is why I need you back. You're right. Yeah, she's been a bit dented
star,
there,
rejected.
I mean? She doesn't get.
Nobody says no to me. Remember all that? Nobody says no.
Oh yeah. I've got a short memory. You're right. So she's not very happy about that, is she?
No.
Half an hour with Cash and a threat to be dragged to a cold shower or whatever, and she's soon back on set, isn't she?
I'd have been like, okay, pick me up. Go on, a date, if you can.
By the way, where's his bodyguard suit gone?
I know, he's just hanging around like a normal person.
That's a disappointment.
Where's his Kevin Costner get up? I need
know,
that.
I know. He did the bodyguarding of the Sunrise interview in some sort of dead chill beach shirt.
It was just a shirt and trousers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, where's the Kevin Costner bodyguard
I was literally
gone?
looking for him. Yeah, I was like, what?
that guy needs to be in a uniform at all times. I don't care what uniform it is, Navy outfit or bodyguard or an army or a police. He's made for uniform, that guy. He needs to be in a uniform. Just saying.
Yeah, and now my mind's wandering. Should we move on to the next topic?
Well, I was going to say, I fell down a sort of related rabbit hole recently, because you remember I tweeted a couple of weeks ago that The Bodyguard was on Channel 5. No, it was on 5 Star, sorry. One night recently, and I tweeted it and I was like, oh, look, it's The Bodyguard. I wonder what prompted this, because it's not on the TV very often, let's face it. So I was like, oh, this is unusual, and it's on 5 Star as well. And then I fell down a Kevin Costner hole because I then watched another film called No Way Out from the 80s, I think it came out, and where he plays like a lieutenant commander in the Navy or something, and I was like, oh, I love this. I could see Cash in this role as well. He is Kevin Costner. The more I watch it, the more I'm like, they're basing him on Kevin Costner, I swear. Yeah.
If you know for sure, if you work on the show and you know for sure you're listening, can you come and let us know so that Sophie can rest knowing that she discovered that it was Kevin Costner with a mask on?
It's all based on him, I reckon.
I can see it. I agree.
His whole character, because in all of his films where Kevin Costner's like suited and booted in a uniform and he's like protecting someone, or he's being like, an army man or a navy man or whatever, he's got this little glint in his eye. He's a bit cheeky, and he talks back to people in power that normally get told yes, 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 and he's there going, no, you can't do that, and he's like putting them in their place, and I'm like, this is Cash. I was watching it going, this is Cash. This is Cash. Like, I love it. Love it.
Very good. Very good.
Out of myself as a Kevin Costner fan now.
There you go. I'm sure many others will come in their droves to agree with you.
Oh dear.
A young Kevin Costner, let's just say that.
Oh yeah. Not now.
Yeah.
In the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. Yeah.
In the way back. Yeah. Right, YCPD, Marshall is trying to talk Rose round into letting Tani out of his cell. You remember he had his weekly grump?
Oh, yeah.
And he missed his bail check-in, if you cast your mind back. And Rose banged him up because he was giving a lip about it. And he got all stubborn again, didn't he? Because he'd found out that Marshall had slept with Flick. And, they did nothing wrong, man. They didn't know. If they'd have known, he would have kept it professional, because I quite like Marshall. I think he's got good values, and I think he's quite a nice character.
I actually want to put him up with Rose. I want to put him with Rose. I don't want to put him with Flick. I don't think they go together.
I think they'd have like a legality thing in common.
Yeah, I think it could be like, let's talk about work, and then like put all the paperwork on the floor and jump on the kitchen counter with the shorts on again. I think it'd be that.
And then take the keys off her belt so you can get Tani out. Yeah. Oh yeah, good thing. Senior Constable Delaney, do you still have those handcuffs? But yeah, so he's trying to get Tani out without any sort of, remember Rose said, I'm going to be back in the morning. You stay in here overnight and think about what you've done, and pray to God I'm in work before Sarge, because if Sarge sees you in here, you're done for. You remember now I say it.
I do remember.
So Marshall's come in and tried to talk sense to him, and Tani was like, get me out and then we'll talk. So anyway, he gets him out, manages to talk Rose round. Great.
He tells her half a truth though, doesn't he? He says, "Oh, he just found out his wife's sleeping with someone." Didn't say himself, did he?
It does appeal to her better nature, though, doesn't it? And she does sort of give a little compassion to his. I think
if he just said, "I shagged his missus," and he just found out about it, like I think he should have gone, "Okay, I'll let him out."
Take as long as you need. Yeah.
Complicated.
She does oblige, but reluctantly, I would say. She gives him a warning. She says, I need to see you back here in 72 hours. Not 76, not 73, 72 hours. So he's like, yeah. But Tane's more concerned about how the lawyer managed to do it. Not really that he's done it, because perhaps he challenged him to get him out of there thinking it'll never work, and he was just making him go away, because Tane's all but self-destruct. Friend of the pod, Tamsin, from who came on the pod a few weeks ago, chats to us a lot about Home and Away, was messaging me on the Instagram during the week saying she thinks Tane's acting out so that when he goes down, people will just leave him there, he's pushing everybody away because he knows he's going to jail, sort of thing, which is,
he doesn't want anyone waiting for him to come out or visiting him, or that makes sense.
Like it's all deliberate.
That makes sense.
And so he's dead concerned about how he's got him out, and it soon turns out he learns very quickly, because they go straight to Salt of all places, and Flick comes running over so he knows they've spoken about it, and he hits the blooming roof, doesn't he? How many times do I have to tell you to stay out of my life? I'm just thinking, oh my god, I was watching this episode, I'm thinking everybody's in a foul mood in this episode.
There was something in the water.
I think this is the point where Felicity's going to sort of step back now. She's going to give up, I think, on him.
I think she needs to, for her own sanity.
Do you? Yeah. Do you not? I think it's a shame, because I think it's like another sign of their parting even further. You know what I mean? There's no going back.
Yeah, it is a shame, but I think right now, I think he's right that he's just getting angry. It's not helping. Her being there is not helping him. He's just getting angry. He's got all this emotion that he's bottling up because he's, I'm a man and I don't talk about things, and I don't talk about feelings. What he needs is some of his friends, like Marley, who's supposed to be a friend, to step up and support him the way that they should be, and not just keep having a go at Kirby for going on a date with some dude. He doesn't have any man friends to kind of rally around him.
That's true. Yeah, he's from the beginning, from the split. He's only really had Harper, hasn't he? In his, in his corner. And obviously we see later in the week she gets subpoenaed in the middle of the diner, to testify against him. So that's dynamic's going to be lost.
Yeah, sorry, I nearly choked when he said subpoenaed in the diner. I'm back. Okay.
Sorry. Sometimes you have to hear yourself back.
I had a mouthful of Savvy B then. And he went through my nose. Oh dear.
So that's another relation. That's his last relationship that could potentially be tethered. I'm thinking, where does this poor guy turn? He phoned Nick a fortnight ago. Where the hell's he? And his support. I know. Phoned him.
He came running back for his ex-missus. He doesn't come running back for his cuz or whatever, his uncle. Yeah.
It feels like Tane's going to this, I'm all alone.
Yeah.
Nobody loves me. I am really struggling. I've got nowhere to turn as he goes into his trial.
Yeah.
I'm quite looking forward to his trial, because it sounds like we might see it. If we've got witnesses, we've got witness talk, we've got...
Okay. You're not basing this off seeing anything, you're just basing it off the fact that we're talking about it.
Yeah,
you've not seen... Okay.
No, I haven't seen anything. But I'm thinking we've got a lawyer cast.
Yeah,
we've now got people who have got a witness, they've got to testify. So I think that feels like a lot. Maybe I'm getting my hopes up, but that feels like a lot to explain if we're not going to see it.
I know, but do you remember we did the same kind of thing with when Justin was up on the assault charges, and they were saying they needed a character reference, and Alf was going to give him a character reference, and then we never saw any of it. And they just sat outside in the sunshine for the whole episode.
Yeah, fair enough.
But then with Irene, we saw the trial at Irene and Harper, didn't we? We saw it. So
I don't know. I don't know. Tane is, Teflon Tane, the big character. I don't know. Let's see. I'm crossing my fingers and I'm hoping for it, I think.
Yeah.
It's been such a big story arc. It would be a nice sort of end to it. I was saying though online in the week, like I can't see him going down for it, but I can't see how he wouldn't at the same time. When Marshall learns about Dana and Harper being served. I mean, Dana was saying herself, like, I expected it because I let him into the hospital. How do I get out of it? And Harper's like, you can't.
Yeah.
Marshall sort of said, you know what? Like this could be good for us because we weren't going to call them up as witnesses, but now I've got the opportunity to cross-examine them. I'm like, yeah, let me see you cross-examine him, Marshall. Come on, I want to see it. There's even talk about Marley. Marley's getting, he's getting briefed by the lawyer back at the house today. He was like, I told you. He phoned me and sent me his location and I went there. And, like, it sounds like they might be taking Marley to court as well.
Yeah, he could help, wouldn't he? If he doesn't sort of, mince his words a bit too much. I don't know. I just the whole conversation that the lawyer Marshall was having with Tane, where it was like, you need to be emotionless in the courtroom. You can't show any emotion. You're going to be dragged by the prosecution. They're going to be calling you all sorts. You're a kidnapper. You're a terrible person. You're a baby stalker. You're a bit creepy. They're going to say all of that, in the courtroom, and he's got to sit there with the, sort of stony face and not get angry. And all we've seen for weeks and weeks is Hulk Tane getting angry and kicking off. And I was like, is this foreshadowing? Is this telling us that we're going to see Hulk Tane in the courtroom? Because he was like, oh, I won't. I'll keep my cool. I'll keep my cool. And I was thinking, I don't know. I don't trust you at the moment, to be honest.
No. And he's got nobody. He's already said, I'm keeping my distance from Harper now. Now, when he's found out about her being served, so he's got nobody to keep him grounded in those moments, has he?
No.
Which I think is a really interesting way. This guy now, literally, nation's wanted man all over telly, like the most misunderstood criminal in the land, is going to court with nobody on his side.
Yeah. So where are we going with this? Because again, I'm not seeing anything where it says Tane's leaving. There's no rumours that I've seen online. People talk about this, don't they? As far as I'm aware, he's still associated with the show at Ozpace. So where are we going with this then?
I don't know.
Is he going to be one of the rarest kidnappers that's going to just walk away with a slap on the wrist?
Yeah. High-vis vest picking up litter for an episode.
Yeah.
It just seems silly, doesn't it? Considering how immense this ended up.
Yeah. It's so serious. I mean, this is like national news. Kidnap. You know what I mean? I know his intentions were good, but I don't think that matters when it comes to the law, does it, normally? You might get a lesser sentence because you didn't do something awful to the child, but kidnap, isn't it? Don't you still have to?
Yeah, and he's got previous, so there has been glimpses, isn't there? So the mum of was the baby Mia? What was the real name? Poppy. The mum of the baby has agreed to give a character witness, which was kind of her, but I think really she ought to be concentrated on other things, more pressing. I don't know. I think the Bay will rally, but is there going to be a Jenny moment where we're going to have to just turn the other way? I don't know. How do you come back from this? We've been asking this question for a while now.
I know. How do you come back from kidnapping a baby? I don't know where you come back from that from. I don't know. I really don't. I just assumed it was automatically prison, to be honest. Even if you did it for the right reasons, the law doesn't really give a shit. I don't know.
Yeah, and you can't be blooming working with kids and things. There's got to be some sort of even after your prison sentence, You can't be working in school, or what if you do it again?
I'll have this one.
Fresh meat.
Especially because we haven't gone down the mental health storyline, so we haven't gone down the route of he had a breakdown.
Which is a mistake, actually.
Yeah, because it's not an excuse, but it is it's information that would help his case. It would be taken into consideration, wouldn't it? He's going to be found guilty, because I can't see how he can't be found guilty.
Yeah.
But it would possibly affect his sentence if there were other factors that were discussed or raised. I don't know, and I feel like we've missed something there, because that is the way to kind of pedal back a bit, isn't it? Oh gosh, so I haven't said this for a while now to you, but it's your Say on the Bay time.
Is it?
Yes. It's weird saying that. I feel out of practice with this segment, so you're gonna have to bear with me, I think, because I forgot what I'm doing. But there we go.
Oh, no problem. This is amazing.
I
sit back. Yeah, you're back. Back online, back on the social medias.
I know. I am back on the social medias. I've been digging through the social medias this week.
That shovel of yours never stops.
Never stops. No, I'm always on there. I'm terrible. Working? No. Social medias. Yeah, been reading comments and been trying to find out what people think about the show at the moment, because I've been away and I'm trying to think what I think about it for a while as well. So recapping. But before that, obviously we're on social medias, aren't we? So Coastal News Podcast, at Coastal News Pod, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. We're still there. We tweet along on the show. We watch it 6:30 p.m. Monday to Friday on 5-star here in the UK. So we tweet along at that pace on the Home and Away hashtag. Lots of people get involved and come and chat to us. So if you've got no one to talk to about Home and Away and you want to vent or tell us what's great, or tell us what you want to see next year, anything, come and tell us. Jump on Twitter and come and talk to us. Anything else I've missed? What do I normally say at this point? I don't know. I can't remember.
No, I think that was it. Yeah,
that was it. Okay,
covered it well.
Yay! I'm back in the swing. Okay, so Tane. So we have a little chat about Tane and what people think about him. I think you can probably guess what people are saying about him, because
a big galah.
Yeah, a lot of that. I've got quite a lot of comments on Tane, so yeah, deep breath. You ready?
Right, okay, I'm braced.
Okay, so Facebook first. So Christine says, I'm getting really fed up of the petulant, childish Tane. Yeah, we all are.
Petulant.
It's a good word, that, isn't it?
This is the mood, isn't it? It's the stubborn, it's that just sit there in silence, not cooperate. It's bugging the fucking shit out of everyone.
And it's this personality change again, isn't it? Because he hasn't been like this the whole time he's been in the show.
No.
And in fact, someone replied to Christine, someone called Helen replied and said he's almost taken over from Nico. What do you think about that?
Yeah, because Nico was always a bit moody, wasn't he?
He was. He was
petulant.
Quite up and down. Petulant.
That's a word I'd put in you. Yeah. Interesting.
Isn't it? I did think this comment did sort of stand out. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I hadn't sort of put two and two together there.
I can see it though. I can see that comparison, to be honest. Yeah.
He is acting like Nico, and it was always Tane that snapped Nico out of it and gone like, grow up. You've got to do this. You got to do that.
But Tane sort of held them all together, didn't he? Through all. This is Tane's coming through. He's lost 2 brothers. He's lost his wife. He's lost his chance at a family and a new beginning. This is a snowball of crap that this man. Do you remember at one point we were saying he's phased by nothing? He's like.
Yeah, we were saying he's been stabbed, he's been shot, he's
Yeah.
And he just keeps going back. Emotional,
it's catching
though.
up with him. Yeah, it's catching
physical
up
pain he can deal with, but emotional pain, he can't handle it, can he?
We were saying on the main thing, it's criminal that we don't know more about what mentally is going on with him. And I think it's a missed opportunity, because we all might empathise a bit better with his situation if that was explored more.
Yes. And it could be one of those issue-based storylines, men's mental health. We have Men's Mental Health Week, month, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We could have tied in with that. It was recently, yeah.
But he's held everybody else together, and there's nobody left. So who's there for him? You know?
Yeah.
Interesting, isn't it? Really, when you think about it, as annoying as his behaviour is.
Yeah, there's got to be a reason for it, because it's out of the ordinary for him. So, yeah. Lots of people call him childish. So Sue on Facebook says, can't believe how Tane's behaving. He's like a child having a tantrum, not liking his character at all at the moment. Because a lot of people loved Tane, didn't they? He was really popular, week after week last year. I was reading out comments about how much everyone loved him.
Yeah,
and this year, everyone's going, I can't stand him at the moment. He's doing my head in.
Yeah.
Martine says he's really getting on the nerves. Yeah.
The tide has turned a bit here.
It has. Yeah, absolutely. Val's got 2 words, and they are flaming writers. Flaming writers.
When in doubt, blame a writer. Yeah.
You've been told, writers. Val's not happy. Yeah. Helen again says, I usually love him, but he's been so silly, really not helping himself. So what about Flick and his lawyer? They were separated, and Flick didn't know that Tane was his client.
Yeah, it is a big so what, isn't it? You're separated. It's unfortunate that it's your lawyer, but number one, he's not the only lawyer in the world. Number two, like
he's the only free one in the bay, though.
Well, like, number two, get over it. You split up. You've been checking God knows what. Like, let her do it. You know.
In fact, someone else has mentioned that on Facebook. Someone called Rochelle said he slept with how many women, and then he throws his toys out the pram because he slept with one person. He needs to get over himself.
This is when you can probably circle it back to Tamsin's comment, though, where he's like, is he doing it to push everybody away? Like, is there more calculation to this Paddy, this tantrum, than we give him credit for?
Yeah, possibly, yeah. I'm kind of hoping we get some answers, to be honest. I think a lot of people are.
Yeah. And just move it along. Let's go to court and just get this thing done with.
Yeah,
whatever happens.
Yeah.
Like, this has been going on and on and on now, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Yes. And then the last comment about Tane from Caroline made me laugh, so I'll read you this one out. And she's put, such a good-looking idiot. It's like a compliment and an insult all in one. Oh, dear.
Is it Caroline, did you say?
Caroline, yeah.
Caroline, love. They normally are.
He's a good-looking idiot. Yeah, I don't know how you take that, but it's
the good-looking ones normally are, Caroline.
It just made me laugh. Everyone else was going, he's such a child, he's so such a petulant tantrum throwing Jalar and whatever, and then it's just like, but he's good looking, isn't he, even though he's an idiot. It's like, well, yeah, okay, we agree.
That's one thing about this whole thing you can't help.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And we're glad about that. We're glad. Facebook showed, for Home and Away UK, Facebook showed a video of or it might have been a meme, I can't remember, of JP having that heart-to-heart chat with Mac, and saying, you're okay, you're not a bad person, talk to me, I'm JP's here for you. They're all those things. Yeah. And they said JP's, in the caption was, JP's got a really big heart or something like that. So everyone's been gushing over JP. So I love gushing over JP. I have to bring it up every time it comes up. So I'm going to read you some nice comments about JP because we love him. So Christine says, yes, he's a really big softie at heart. He absolutely is. Danny says, he really got me with this. He's changed a lot over the years. I know he's sometimes full on, but I really do like his character. Now, that's something you and I talk about quite frequently on the pod, don't we? That he was quite unlikable, I guess, back in the day.
Yeah, he was awful.
I'm trying to be nice, but yeah, he was one of those Marmite characters where you love him or you hate him. But now I think he really is. Everyone loves him. It is quite a turnaround.
Yeah, but it's not like a plot. It's not like a device, is it? It's
No.
like he's naturally morphed into this thing you cannot not love.
Yeah.
And he's all the characters have made way for it. I think he has slotted into this gossip comedic. I mean, Shane has got amazing the way he's timing on the lines.
Yes. Yeah.
He's so subtle with it. It has you in stitches.
Yeah.
And that has won our hearts, and he's won us over. And the best character development ever.
Yeah.
I'm saying it. It's a big statement. I'm saying it.
I'd agree. Yeah. He just really works. He's exactly what we need. That character is exactly what we need. He fills a hole that we really needed. And
you say it all the time, don't you?
Yeah.
You say they always drop John in between loads of high stake shit.
Yeah.
And I think it
comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does, and it brings you back again because you watch something really sad, or you'll watch something that'll get you angry, or you'll watch a storyline that you're not really enjoying, and you're thinking, oh, I've got to flip over the channel in a minute, and then you get a John storyline, and you're like, oh, okay, this is great. It's John again, and he's making me laugh, and he's just always being like, the mentor or the confidant or whatever. He's not always just being a galah, but sometimes it's like a heart to heart, or it's just nice. I just like to see him. Just like to see John.
Same.
More of John.
More
John.
Same.
Everyone's saying the same thing. Everyone's saying they love him, and there's no bad comments. Which is great. Okay, what about Motorbike Gate?
Oh God, go on.
Shall we talk about this?
If we must.
Okay, so Stephen on Facebook says, hold on, Remy is cut up about losing Brie. He must have soon have got over her because he hooked up with that celebrity actress. And Francis went back and said he's not serious about her though. Stevie and Alf got on well, which probably surprised them both. Don't know where she's going with that one, but yeah, I don't think. I mean, we were talking about this on the podcast, weren't we? I don't think Remy was seeing this as like a big relationship, because I think the fact that she is a movie star and she could just fly off to Los Angeles and film a movie over there at any point, I don't think he was seeing a future with her. He was in love with Brie, and they broke up because they couldn't find a compromise. And I don't think it's because he didn't love Brie or isn't still in love with Brie. I don't know. What do you think?
No, agreed. He's seen that as a stopgap, as a way to heal himself in a bloke's way of doing it. From distraction, call it what you want. He's thrown himself into that. I think he's ended up with a mirror up to his face when he's seen Brie doing the same thing.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think he didn't like what he saw.
You're right. Yeah, that's a good way of saying it, actually. Yeah.
He realised what he'd done.
Yeah, he's like, oh, now I know how it feels, and now it does suck. Because I think when Stephen's saying he's not that cut up about losing Brie because he's already underneath someone else, I don't think that means you've stopped loving that person or you wanted to not be with them. I think it's just, like you say, it's a distraction. It's something else to.
Yeah.
I don't think he's over Brie. I think
he didn't want the relationship to end as much as she did.
No, I don't think either of them wanted it to end. I think what we've come to is a place where neither wanted to back down, and that is a reason to break up if you can't compromise, and if both of you are saying, one's saying yes and the other one's saying no, and you can't find a maybe. That is the end of a relationship. It doesn't mean you don't love them, though, does it?
She's been a bit of a plonker, though, and got on that bike. I imagine we'll find them back together.
Yes. Yeah, I think we're going there, aren't we? I think we are.
Yeah, which is just whatever. I feel nothing for it, so.
I prefer him with Stevie just because I prefer Stevie as a character. But
and also, it's like a bit exciting, isn't it? Movie star meets rock. I'm air quoting rock star. Like that's an exciting world we don't know about. And lots of stuff could go on there. Their relationship was, we didn't even see it. We barely saw them.
Yeah.
Like for months until this stuff happened. So why would we want that back? You know, what do we know about them as a relationship? Not a lot, really.
No. It's a shame. Lee on Facebook says Brie mentions double standards and forgets she said me or the bike. Yeah.
Yeah, short memory. We've gone over that, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely. Jen on Twitter's got an interesting point to make about Remy, which I was like, oh, actually, she has got a point here. So she's put, Remy, I inexplicably attract incredible, attractive, clever, and talented women, and then proceed to claim that I'm better than them. And I was like, oh, it's interesting, isn't it? He does seem to be punching every time he goes out with someone.
That's true.
And then he finds fault with them, you know what I mean? And then discards. That's an interesting point that I can't skirt over, Jen. So,
but do you remember the old Remy? You know that.
Yes. Yeah.
That is part of his trait, isn't it? His past, his recreation. You know, he's known for it. Up until Brie. So.
Yeah.
It might be a pattern that we just see these things that we've not been with him all the way through. You know, it's a shame really, because he and Brie, for whatever reason, and we'll never know, but he and Brie were always a bit of a B couple. You know, there were all these other couples happening that we spent way more time with, and it's almost like we haven't got the investment in these two. At all sort of levels.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they had a lot of investment during the affair, but then after that, it wasn't really
absolutely nothing. Yeah,
about them, was it? It was all flick and tarny, and yeah.
We didn't even see them on screen together for weeks, and I mean weeks. Like, we saw her at the hospital. I mean, we didn't see her very much, but we saw her at the hospital involved in somebody else's stuff. And we saw him with the band involved in that stuff. When did we see them doing something together as a couple? Or, you know, like, we're together. Where do we go from here? Do we want to move in together? When did we see their relationship develop? We didn't.
No, you're right. You're right.
So why should we care now whether they're split up or not? I'm sorry.
You're right. No, you're right. You're right. I think you're right.
This is somebody else's say on the bed. I'm going bad.
No,
sorry.
I think people on Twitter have said the same thing. I think it might have been Jamie this week. I can't remember. I don't think I took a screenshot of this comment, but somebody said, you know, don't make us care about them now because we never cared about them before. So why are you doing this?
Yeah, there we go.
So yeah,
honestly. It's mind-numbing watching this now, because I'm like, oh, am I supposed to feel something here?
Yeah.
I quite enjoy Remy, and you know, I've had a journey with him.
Yes.
You know,
you hate him to start with.
I don't mind. I don't mind seeing him with the band. I've actually enjoyed seeing him fool around with Stevie and get involved in all that and have a bit of fun. Yeah. Do you know what? Don't mind Brie either. I've warmed to her. I think she's great at the hospital and, you know, and all that stuff. Together, never seen it.
No, we haven't, have we? Yeah, interesting. It's funny because we do slag off other couples like Eden and Cash and say Eden is just a girlfriend and she doesn't have her own life. And actually, we're saying the opposite about these two. We're saying they've got their own lives and they're not really a couple.
That's true. Yeah, it's like the other extreme, isn't it?
It's like the balance isn't there for either of them, is there? Interesting.
The balance. That's what we're lacking. Put that on a t-shirt.
Lacking the balance. As will I be in about an hour.
We've got like 2 hours into this call and now we've had a drink.
I haven't seen you for weeks. I'm enjoying the chat and the catch up.
I'm really enjoying this process tonight. I am not going to lie.
It's all about us.
Not that I never don't enjoy it.
It's here. I know. It feels like a long time ago since I spoke to you, so I'm loving the catch up. It's nice. It's nice. Nice to be home. Mr. David said, Stevie, you are meant to be a world famous movie star. Trust me, Remy is not the one for you. Count yourself lucky he's out of your life, girly.
That's the other angle, isn't it? He brings up a good point. She could have anybody, really.
Yes. Yeah.
They'll be falling at her feet, won't they?
Yeah.
This is what I don't. Suddenly now we're learning that Stevie may have fallen for him a bit, enough so that she's willing to, like, you know, be in breach of contract at this new movie by not turning up.
I still don't know whether that's an ego thing though, because I'm just thinking actress, they have to be desirable and they have to feel, you know, like everyone's. You have to have
me.
You have to be very confident, don't you? I think you do. I think you have to have a kind of inflated ego, or at least you do in front of the camera. You have to be able to inflate your ego in front of the camera, even if you're not like that off camera. You need to be able to get that persona in front of the camera of, look at me, and that's how you get seen, and that's how you get famous, and how you get the big, you know, the big roles and everything else. I think you have to have a movie star persona, and to be dumped by someone like Remy. I don't know. I think that would knock you a bit if you were. I mean, if I'm trying to think of an equivalent kind of real movie star, you know what I mean? Who would an equivalent of Stevie be, and then be dumped by somebody that's just a normal person? I don't know. I can't think of a name off the top of my head, but it's like that. I think it would be a bit of a knock, and especially because she's just starting on a brand new film, not even day one yet. She's been dumped. And it's a different genre to what she's normally doing. There's a pressure for her there because she's trying to skip to another genre, hoping her fan base will follow her and watch the movie. There must be a lot of anxiety around that as well.
She does seem quite nervous about that. You know, when she's trying to run the lines and she's looking for validation, isn't she, that she's doing it well when she's running the lines with Remy and that. So yeah, you probably struck something there that there's a lot of she's internalizing a lot of it. And the ego is something we need to consider, because she's not just your average, you know, Jane from the street. She's an actress, and she's got this,
and she is, because she's dramatic.
For
hitting the bottle because she's been dumped, you know, that's dramatic. Refusing to go to work because she's been dumped, dramatic. Then the whole entrance she made when she actually turned up, you know, I'm here. And then into the trailer, and then out of the trailer, she's all like, I'm ready. You know, it's her whole personality is drama. Because she's an actress. That is her job. You know, you have to be like that, I think, to be able to conjure up that actress persona that you need to actually do the work.
Yeah. You've convinced me. Yeah. Absolutely. So, wasn't it good though that we're seeing all the films setting up in the trailers and stuff? We wanted it, didn't we?
We did. I'm happy so far. Happy that even Alf's impressed. You know, Mr. Stewart.
I know, and that's saying something.
It is. Mr. Stewart was like, I didn't realize they work so hard and they do so many things. If you can impress Mr. Stewart, you're doing something right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Jamie's got a question. Jamie's confused because one of the reasons why Remy said to, I think it was Justin and Theo, when they said, well, what's going on with you and that actress? And he goes, oh, you know, different worlds. And Jamie's like, different worlds? Actress and a musician? Is it that different? Are they that different? I don't know.
Well, it's entertainment. It's the biz of show.
It is the business show. Is it different levels of how successful they are? Is that what he means by different worlds? Like her circles are not my circles, if that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, because it must be, because you're comparing a band that's on constant hiatus that you know has had one
vinyl.
One vinyl, not even a hit. Like, and you know. They've done a couple of gigs here and there, to someone who were like Death Throes was all anybody could talk about last year.
Yeah.
If Sunrise is to be believed. So, you know, she seems to have a level of status he doesn't.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
It's like, do you know what the comparison is? Do you remember Katy Perry and what's his face, the idiot?
Oh, Russell Brand.
Before he only went like Hollywood big, didn't he? Later on, like, can you remember when he was like a two-shot TV presenter on like Big Brother or something? And then you find out he's dating Katy Perry. You're like, how the hell did that happen? Like, how did their worlds collide?
Yeah, that's true. He dated quite a few people that I was like, really?
Well, let's controversial. Who
I won't
he ended up.
I won't name names, but there were a few people that I thought, oh, I don't. Yeah.
No, didn't he turn out to be some sort of pest later on? Anyway.
Yeah, he's not good. He's
not a good egg, is he?
Career suicide. Yeah, no, I won't name any names because I think there's legal stuff going on. But yeah, he seemed to do very well for himself, and punching like Remy, punching above his kind of level of.
Yeah. It's a similar scenario, isn't it? It's like he's ended up in this celeb world.
Yeah.
Then my mind runs away with me. Have I missed it where he's trying to further his career by associating with her?
I don't think
that
he is,
wasn't
though.
obvious.
I don't think he is, because he's not making the most of it, is he? He's not. He's not like she was posting stuff on her Instagram of them in bed and stuff. He's not done the same, as far as we know. He hasn't been like, oh look, I'm hanging out with Stevie Marlowe.
Yeah,
I'm at a swanky party with Stevie Marlowe. He's not really done that, has he? I don't know. I don't think he's that in. I wouldn't say he's not impressed with what she's doing. I think he is. I just don't think he's using it to his advantage necessarily. I think he does actually like her, but I think it's and he's in love with Brie still.
Yeah, he's getting his end away. He's acting out. He's just come out of a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
And he's seen Brie doing it, doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Realised what he's done.
Yeah.
I think that's it, isn't it?
I think you're right. I think it is just that straightforward this time round. I did ask Twitter though. I did say, why did they split up? Because I wanted somebody to tell me, was it the ultimatum? You, me, the bike. We can't be a 3-3. It's me or the bike. Was it that? Or was it what she said? The lying, that Remy, all the lies he told. What was it? So I said, are you team Remy? Are you team Brie? Or do you even care? And interestingly, 44% of people don't care at all. Couldn't care less. Didn't even want to pick a side. Couldn't be bothered. Pick a side.
Is that the biggest share?
Yes. The second biggest share is 30% team Brie.
Right.
But then only marginally behind that, team Remy, 26%.
Yeah.
So it's
not a lot in it.
No, not a lot in it, and more people don't care than want to actually pick a side. So that's saying it, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have time to talk about Dana and Xander?
Always. This is soap. What is it? JK said last week. I don't know if you heard it. His favourite couple in soapdom right now.
I know. I was like, okay. I mean, they are being written really well, aren't they? Their scenes are so real, especially this week, when she's all like shyly going up to him on the beach and being like, oh, are we okay? Like, am I dumped? Am I going to dump you? And she's kind of cringing.
She's been washing her hair at his house, hasn't she?
I know. But it's just their interactions are quite relatable. When he says something like, oh, I missed you last night. And she said, oh, well, I would have missed you as well, but I was too busy freaking out. And she had that whole scene in the diner where she was like, I'll just take my little takeaway and go back home and give me all the cheese, Leah. And Leah was like, how much cheese do you want? And she was like, just give me all the cheese you've got in the kitchen. I was like, this is so relatable.
Matt is like, oh, it must be bad.
Yeah, it's like, oh dear. Ooh, that much cheese, that's a big heartbreak. You know what I mean? They are really relatable because they're both very anxiety riddled characters, which is really interesting, and it normalizes them.
Yeah, and I absolutely adore Dana. Right?
Yes,
adore her. I was tweeting a few times while you were off. Others do as well.
Yeah.
And it's things like this that makes you fall in love with her.
Yeah. Some people, not everyone's on board. I've been saying since Dana arrived, I've been calling her a decisive Dana, haven't I? And saying people love her or hate her, and it's not very much in the middle. Not many people going, I don't care. There's people that really love her, and there's people that really don't. And it's the same again. So I'll read you out some comments, shall I? So David makes me laugh. Mr. David on Twitter says, Dana, your man has 2 friends, hangs about with his sister all the time, and works all hours. Stop being so clingy. He's not going anywhere. That really made me laugh.
Oh, so I don't know if I'm blinded here by my love for Dana, but I was a bit like, is this clingy, or is this like she's just excited and wants to spend time with her new boyfriend all the time?
I think it's a bit of both, isn't it? I mean, I think, who was it that said later on? I think it was Mr. David again, who said that it's very fitting with her character because she is like an excitable puppy most of the time anyway. And she's a bit like, she gets carried away with things. It's like, oh, yay, let's do this. And I think that's what she's doing. This is something new and shiny. And she's like, let's hang out all the time and do stuff. And he's like, I need 5 minutes to myself. So I think you're right. I don't think it's out of character for her. And that's what Mr. David said as well. I don't know whether it's clingy. I think it's just Dana. I think she's just...
I mean, somebody did say, didn't they? Because this was the day, this went out the day I was on the Twitter. Somebody did say, well, you know, she let herself in and like, you know, watched...
Yeah, that's true.
Which is a little bit, you know, in a new relationship.
That was Sarah.
In a new relationship, you would be a bit like, can I, you know, are you sure it's okay if I come over? Or, you know, do you want to do something? I suppose you would be a little bit more considerate. But again, it's
Dana.
I'm not Dana. Yeah.
It's very Dana. Yeah, and it was Sarah 30th floor on Twitter that said that. She said she let herself into his house and then used his housemate stuff because she was just sat there on the sofa when he came home and she was like, I used the spare key. He was like, okay.
But she did it to watch sunrise at 6:30 a.m. I'm like, where is everybody at 6:30 a.m. if they're not at home? Like, do people get up really early in Oz? Like,
does the sun come up at like 4 and they all go surfing before work? I don't know. It's not like here, is it? It's just not like here.
Well, I'm just going to set some expectations for November.
Oh, you don't need... You know I'm not a morning person, FYI.
That is not happening.
Hell no. I am basically nocturnal, so 4 a.m. is when I go to bed, not when I'm getting up.
Yeah, but they're upside down.
Oh, so that's true.
Maybe...
Yeah. Oh dear, I'm going to be a morning person. Oh, God. Help me. Oh, dear. Let's see. So some people are saying, but what about the fact that she is a bit of a clinger? I think if anyone's a bit of a clinger and can't be on their own, it's Stevie. I mean, nobody's saying that she's really clingy. And, you know, the minute she gets dropped by Remy, she's clinging to Cash and Eden, going out for dinner with them. Like, she put on a bit of a sad face, didn't she? Like, oh, I've got to go home now, and I'm going to be on my own for like the whole 5 minutes. And they were like, come out for dinner with us. And she's like, oh yeah, okay, I will. Like, I'll just come. She can't be on her own for more than like 3 minutes.
No,
Stevie.
And then she has that big talking with Eden, like, he loves you. He moved this whole film for you. Yes. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, that was news, wasn't it? She's a level 5 clinger, Stevie.
You're right. You are right. Yeah, actually, if we're going to compare the two, why are we being so harsh on Dana? You know, listen, I'm president of the Dana fan club. Leave her alone. Go for Stevie instead.
Yeah, go for Stevie. She's the clinger. That's what I'm seeing anyway. You're not the only one that's in the old fan club. You've got Mr. David as part of your squad as well. Mr. David said, Dana is madder than a box of frogs. I love her.
Oh,
so she has got a few fans out there. Julie's got an interesting point. Julie says, I think they jumped into bed too soon. They hadn't even dated. I think because they'd got to that stage, the lines got blurred. They need to slow things down and have some date nights. Now, they've only had one date, as far as I'm aware, and it was at Xander's house.
Yeah, let's go out, romance, you know, go to the film, go and see a film, take her out to town, Xander, come on, man.
Yeah. That's what we need.
I can't wait to watch these blossom. I don't want no drama.
No.
Even if it's melodrama. I mean, we've had a bit, haven't we? This whole, let's talk, I'm so sorry and I'm so sorry too. And we'll promise to talk about how we're feeling type conversation this week. Fine, got it, get out your system, done. Let's go and court and let's fall in love. Come on. I want to see you excited to say the L word and, and realize you're each other's person. Don't mess it up.
Yeah, well, don't mess it up is something that people have been saying on Twitter as well. I think it was Jamie that said, you're tarnishing Xander and Dana, trying to make us care about Remy and Brie, when the majority of people don't want to see that. Like, make Xander and Dana a thing and make them cute and stop messing with them. A lot of people have been saying that, like, don't mess with this couple because they work. Just leave them as they are. Let them be happy and let them do stuff and see them together.
Could not have said that better myself. Could not have. Look at all the airtime Remy and Brie are getting, and 40% of our respondents on that poll you put out don't even give a rat's ass.
No, that's true.
Hold me in your arms, don't let me go. I want to stay forever. Closer.